You know, there are some moments in a nightscape photographer's life when things just fall into place. Now, I want you to have a look at this beautiful old building behind me. Now, you can see this from the road, which is way off, probably 700 meters away from here. And I thought to myself, I'd love to be able to shoot that baby up there, but how do you get to it? Who owns the property and whatever? Well, I drove into the winery across the road and I asked the question, who owns the building? And the guy said to me, oh, that's such and such, and that's their name, and here's their phone number, and away we go. And so I rang them up and I spoke to the guy. I said, do you mind if I come in and shoot the old building? And he said, not at all, not a problem. I explained to him what I wanted to do and who I was. There's nothing here except sheep. Have a look at it. What an absolute gold mine this is for a nightscape photo. Now, if somebody had have asked me what angle would I prefer to shoot this building on to get a decent perspective and composition, I would say exactly here where the camera is. Got this gorgeous little path leading away to the right-hand side of the building. On the left-hand side, you can see there's this old tree, and right in the middle, of course, is the building. So having the camera somewhere around here would be perfect. Well, guess what? I've just worked out with using PhotoPill's augmented reality view that the Milky Way galactic core rises directly over there and goes right over the top of this building here tonight. So I've got plenty of opportunity to be able to shoot this building from anywhere around this angle here. And I'll probably try it with a few different lenses because I think the building lends itself to that. So everywhere you look, there are compositions here at this old house. I am delighted to have found this one. The old water tank, even this tree here next to me, there are compositions. I love how all of these building materials, rocks, concrete, stones, are all laying all over the ground. Nice short grass, which makes it easy to light and to get the texture of that surface. Now, it's quite windy at the moment, so I hope that, ooh, it's cold too. I hope that dies down a bit because that will make things a lot easier, but I will take whatever conditions I get. Now, I just wonder if I can get inside. Okay, well, there's something there stopping me from getting inside. Looks pretty good though. Yeah. The only reason I want to get inside, by the way, is to put a light in there, just to give it a bit of a glow. But I can probably do that by just reaching into the window. I don't have to go in there, and I think that would work out okay. So as you can probably see, I'm quite excited about finding this hidden gem up on the hill here. And so the next time you see me here will be back tonight. Hopefully the sky stays clear. It's beautiful at the moment. Let's just wait and see. You know, another thing I love about finding these hidden locations is that when you're driving along in the back blocks of the property, you find beautiful machinery like this. Have a look at it. This old harvester, I think it is, or of some sort, but it's rusting away here in the paddock, and it's just crying out for a light painting job under the night sky. I've just got PhotoPills out, checked the orientation, perfect. There's a gap there behind where that spindly old tree is going up there, and that is exactly where the Milky Way core is going to go up, right up into that clear patch of sky behind. Oh man, this is going to be two for the price of one. So we'll just have to wait and see how this goes, but I'm actually really looking forward to shooting this as well. So I detoured. I'll see you back tonight. Oh man, have a look at that beautiful sky. And there's the ruin, standing in all its glory on top of the hill there. Man, oh man, I can't wait to start shooting this. So I'm going to get right into it now. I'm going to probably shoot mainly with the 20mm lens, but I might bolt on the 35mm and see how that one goes as well. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get going. So I've been frantically shooting a heap of images here. So I shot some fine art light painting where I went around, light painted the building, shot some ambient background shots, and then I stopped down my aperture to f5.6, 10-second shutter speeds at f5.6, yeah, I say 500, that's right, yeah. And just light painted the foreground. That gets the maximum amount of detail into my foreground exposures, and that's something I do all the time. Then I've been shooting some panoramas, so far all with the 20mm lens, and some of those I've done just with some ambient lighting because there's a bit of street lighting down there which is sort of reflecting on the building a bit, but I also did some where I used the torch just to add some extra lighting in. I think those ones look better. So the sky's cleared up beautifully. You can see the Milky Way there in the background shining. That you wouldn't think I was only a matter of about, I don't know, 20 kilometres from a capital city here, would you? It's just over the hill over there, but this is Hobart. It's not like Melbourne, not like Adelaide, not like Sydney, not like Brisbane. It's fantastic out here. The other thing I want to show you, there's a tree in the background down there. I've got a little ambient light just up on that tree, which I think looks fantastic. It's just a subtle light, but it does make a difference. So here's that light I was talking about. Now it's one of my Ulanzi VL49s. It's got the magnetic base on it, and so I can just stick it onto this water tank here, which works great. And because it's metal, stick it on there, and that just gives a nice gentle light across the background here. And even though I'm shooting from the other side of the building, the light spills around the back of the building. And I think sometimes you want lighting that isn't very obvious and looks pretty natural. And I think with a bit of the light pollution that's around over that side, that light actually does look pretty natural. And over here you can see the tree that was in the background. And I just looked up there before I could see 4 eyes looking at me. So there's some possums up there in that tree, so I don't want to disturb them. But yeah, so just a little bit of subtle light on that tree, and the camera's way off. It's probably 80 meters back over that way. So it's only a small amount of light, but it does make a big difference. Wow, what a beautiful place. Love it, love everything about it. And it just shows you that if you go to the extra effort to try and find out who owns the property, and when I rang the guy, he had absolutely no issue with me coming up here to photograph the property. And he was actually quite interested in what I wanted to do. And that's the response that I get nearly all the time when I come out to shoot nightscape photography. And look at that, clear sky. Gee, it's pretty cold up here though. There's a very strong wind blowing, and I think I might just grab a hot drink, warm myself up. I probably should put my gloves on too. Now I know you guys already know this, but once again I can categorically confirm that when you're out shooting nightscape images, one of the most important ingredients is a hot cuppa. And have a look at this. I made sure I boiled that properly before I left the house, or where I was staying, and I'm glad, by the way, that I'm staying somewhere besides in the back of my car tonight, because, well, the reason that happened was because I was expecting bad weather. Now, we sort of did get bad weather when I arrived here, but as you can see tonight, this is fantastic weather. So I'm just rolling with that. I'm pretty happy with it. And so I've got all my food here with me, and I went to the supermarket and bought some Darryl Lee licorice bullets. I don't know if you guys like those, but I'll tell you what I do. I'm going to get stuck into those. Nothing better than that with a cup of tea. Ah, this is the life. Where else would you want to be? All right, so you guys probably already know I keep my Star Tracker gear up here in my rooftop box. Oh boy, oh boy. So I'm going to get that out now because I'm going to do some track sky, and I think that's going to work really well here. Oh, come on. Oh boy, oh boy, the door's trying to shut on my back. All right. Oh, the things you've got to go through to do nightscape photography, I'll tell you what. All right, I'm just going to do the track shots just here next to the car. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sky. So as you guys know, I've really been enjoying using the Skywatcher Star Adventurer Mini. Here it is. It's so easy to get working. I've been powering it with a USB power bank since I got it, and it just keeps going and going and going. I hardly ever have to charge the thing. So yeah, this is really easy to set up in the field. I've showed you plenty of times, and I like to use the tracker because it's just so simple. You know, it doesn't matter what sort of gear you have. If it's not simple and easy to use or set up, you don't worry about it. You'll just leave it in the box. But this thing is fantastic. Okay, well, I've just finalised all the shooting. It's taken me a fair bit of time, but there's another shot I want to get, that old machine down in the bottom valley down here, and I need to get back there pretty quickly. So let's get this all packed up and we'll continue our adventure. Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit of gardening, getting rid of some of this excess grass. Doesn't need to be here. Hey, I'm not destroying the environment. I'm just making it a bit more beautiful for this photo and for anyone else that comes along here. Maybe the sheep would appreciate it, but I doubt it. It's just much better. Yeah, that looks better. All right, so this is my classic fine art light painting, and this is what I've been doing for years on old machinery like this, just using different exposure settings for the background and the foreground and blending them all together. And the reason I do that is to get a much, much sharper, cleaner image. So I'm going to be lighting this machine from all different angles. I'll show you that in a minute. Taking some ambient background shots, and I think I'll probably use the tracker again because it just looks so great. And the tracked shots behind these finite light painted shots are just awesome. It'll probably just be a single shot, by the way. I'm using a 20mm f 1.8 lens, and I'm shooting with the Z6 Mark II camera. The camera is about, let me see, well, I'll step it out for you. It's I'd say about 3 meters from the actual subject here. So it's close, all right? But, you know, the funny thing about it is I'm shooting originally at infinity focus to get the background. That is always at infinity focus. Now, at 20mm focal length, this machine is too close to be in focus properly at f2.8. But when I stop down the aperture to f5.6, which is what I'm going to do, that depth of field increases. And now my 3 to 3.5 meter foreground comes into focus. Now, some of you won't believe me. Okay, that's okay. I don't really want you to believe me. I want you to try it out for yourself. But 20mm at f5.6, I haven't got the figure off the top of my head, but I can tell you now, it will come into focus. So I'm going to shoot probably maybe half a dozen frames. I'm going to light this from different angles, put it all together, and Bob is your uncle. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm just looking at those images now. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, it never ceases to amaze me just how good these images come up using this method of photographing. All right, well, that's a wrap. It's been absolutely amazing being out here with you guys again under the stars here at this location, and I appreciate every one of you every week for tuning in and following my adventure around Tasmania. Well, that adventure is going to continue because I'm off tomorrow morning for new locations. You know what? I don't even know where I'm going yet. I'm heading northeast, I think. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next installment of my Tasmanian adventure. Thank you so much for following along. I'll see you later.